to 4.
Local Government Tamaki Makaurau Reorganisation Amendment Bill, Local Government Auckland Council Amendment Bill, Local Government Auckland Transitional Provisions Bill, third reading.
Honourable Rodney Hyde.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I move that the Local Government Tamaki Makaurau Reorganisation Amendment Bill, the Local Government Auckland Council Amendment Bill and the Local Government Auckland Transitional Provisions Bill be now read a third time. These three bills, Mr Speaker, are the result of the division of the Local Government Auckland Law Reform Bill in committee. Their purpose is to complete the legislative framework that will deliver one council, one mayor and one vision for Auckland by the 1st of November 2010. Mr Speaker, I don't need to remind the House that the Auckland region's governance arrangements have been a cause of concern for the best part of a century. Michael Joseph Savage recognised the problem back in 1919, calling for a unification of the region's disparate and ineffective councils. The Royal Commission on Auckland Governance agreed and found that Auckland's 8 councils lacked the collective sense of purpose, constitutional ability and momentum to address issues effectively for the overall good of Auckland. Auckland has had too many missed opportunities. Important decisions affecting the lives and the well-being of our largest population base have been delayed or not made at all. Services are poor and cost more than is necessary. Councils across Auckland cannot agree on or apply consistent standards and plans. But, Mr Speaker, no more. Today is the day Auckland ratepayers at long last get to win. The new Auckland Council will be more effective, more accountable and provide world-class service to its residents. Why? Because the new council will have a single vision under a single leader who will make decisions regionally, plan strategically and act decisively in Auckland's interests. Imagine one vision for the waterfront, one vision for the motorway system, one long-term council community plan, one spatial plan, one district plan, one rating system, one rates bill, one council, one mayor, one Auckland, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, on November 1, day 1, Auckland's potential will begin to be realised. Working with the Auckland Council's mayor will be 20 councillors elected across Auckland's 13 new wards, guaranteeing a spread of councillors from across the region. There will also be 21 local boards making decisions on local issues, activities and facilities, and working as part of a structure unique in New Zealand to ensure that community interests are properly represented. Local boards will have their own decision-making responsibility for local matters, while the Council takes responsibility for the wider picture on regional matters, addressing the need for grassroots decision-making and accountability. No more endless disagreements about the location and funding of regional amenities and the provision of necessary infrastructure. Auckland's traffic woes will now be dealt with too by a single body. No more costly duplications of functions across 8 rating authorities, 7 district plans and a multitude of differing bylaws. A full third of the submissions to the Royal Commission expressed real anger, despair and frustration over the regulatory red tape and the cost of complying with different district and rural plans across the region, a process that was blocking development. The focus will be on lowering fees and costs and simplifying the paperwork under a single district plan. I can confidently say that ratepayers can now expect efficiency gains in the years ahead from integrated long-term planning and decision-making. The intent is to make Auckland the most exciting, vibrant metropolitan centre in Australasia. Auckland can become number 1 in the Mercer World Cities rankings. But what people care about also is the cost. The Auckland Council costs will not only be lower, but with better customer service. There are a bewildering number of fee categories across the region. Just take dogs, Mr Speaker. 60 categories in Auckland, for registering, impounding and adopting dogs. 60. There will now be half that number, with charges dropped to the lowest levels. Building inspections, currently charged at an hourly rate varying from $110 to $178, will drop to $110 across the region. That's real money being saved. What about resource consent forms? Imagine this, Mr. Speaker. Over 850 forms at present used by councils will now be reduced to just 120 simplified forms, improving consistency across the region. Wherever you are, the consent application fee will be the same. There will also be a single building control authority delivering standardised control policy and acceptance criteria, again producing a consistent review and application process. There will be full service centres operational on day one in central Auckland, Takapuna, Henderson and Manukau, supplemented by local service centres at Orewa, Waiheke, Papakura and Pukekohe. There will also be neighbourhood service centres at Warkworth, Huapai, Helensville, Great Barrier and Waiuku, with more to follow. Staffing numbers, Mr. Speaker, will fall. A fat and flabby upper management structure will be streamlined, creating a smaller and tighter top management team to drive the necessary improvement and consistency across the region. Frontline staff members, however, will not be reduced. Fears about the powers of the council-controlled organisations, or CCOs, have been removed. Auckland CCOs will now be the most accountable of any council in the country. They will have boards appointed by the council, that they may also dismiss the directors. The council determines the policy and appoints a board to ensure its wishes are carried out. If it is not, they can sack the lot. Furthermore, there is no impediment to the council disestablishing any of the CCOs except Auckland Transport, the only statutory entity. All Auckland Council CCOs will now be required to have 2 board meetings open to the public, at which the public can participate and speak directly to board members. Thank you, George Hawkins. These meetings will concern the CCO's statement of intent and whether it has achieved its goals during the preceding financial year. The Council can increase this number if it so desires, but there will always be that 2-meeting minimum guarantee. We know the people of Auckland want their rates kept low. We know they fear a lack of local community involvement and local democracy, and we know they are looking for an improved transport system, and they will come to get it November 1, Mr. Speaker. Aucklanders can now go to the polls in October to elect their mayor, their councillors and their local board members without any central government interference. They can do so confident in the knowledge that the new Auckland Council will have the tools to take the vision forward, a united, prosperous and dynamic region of which all New Zealanders can be proud. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank all those